No.
Good evening, everyone. This is Kimberly. We are now live.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first hybrid meeting of the Agoura Hills City Council regular meeting of Wednesday, February 9th, 2022. As you can see, I am in the council chambers and the rest of the council is calling in. We're trying this out, so if there are any instances where you can't hear me or can't hear anyone else, please let us know. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, all city meeting facilities are closed to the public until further notice. Tonight's meeting is being conducted utilizing video conferencing and electronic means consistent with AB 361 and may be viewed live on Zoom by entering the meeting ID and passcode on the agenda, by live stream on YouTube by entering February 9th, 2022, or view the live or archived meeting on the city's website at agourahillscity.org and click on the Watch Meetings Online button. In accordance with AB 361, public attendance in the council chambers will not be permitted. And now I will defer to City Clerk Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. Written public comments were requested to be emailed by 4 p.m. today. During the meeting, in accordance with AB 361, there will also be an opportunity for the public to speak on each item. If you would like to speak on an item, you may access the Zoom meeting online at zoom.us and enter the meeting ID and passcode located on the agenda. To request to speak during public comment, please click on the Raise Hand button on the Zoom toolbar. Requests to speak must be received prior to the mayor closing the public comment portion of the item. For full details, please refer to the public participation section on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez. And now I will call this meeting to order. And I will defer to Councilmember Weber for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Weber. And now I will proceed with the roll call. I will call on each council member. Councilmember Buckley Weber.
Here.
Councilmember Northrup.
Here.
Councilmember Weber.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Anstead. Couldn't hear you, but I see you tried. Thank you. We have a quorum for this evening. Aha.
Here.
Thank you.
There you go. No problem.
Okay. There was no closed session held this evening, so there's no report from that. So we'll move along to the approval of our agenda. And will the maker of the motion to approve the agenda please state your name along with the second?
Councilmember Buckley Weber moves to approve the agenda.
Moves approval. Okay, Councilmember Weber will second.
Okay.
Fight over the Webers.
I think I have a motion and a second. So I will now call on each council member for their vote. Councilmember Buckley Weber.
Aye.
Councilmember Northrup.
Aye.
Councilmember Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Anstead.
Aye.
And I also vote aye. The motion passes 5-0. Okay, and now here is the most exciting part of this evening, the annual Agoura Hills Volunteer Recognition Event. And I will turn it over to Nick Newkirk for our wonderful presentation. I couldn't hear that. I don't know if anyone else could.
I could not hear it.
I cannot hear it either.
Okay.
Nor could I.
Good evening. On behalf of the entire City Council, I would like to thank everyone for attending the City of Agoura Hills annual volunteer recognition event. This past year has been another incredibly challenging one for everyone, but tonight we want to take the time to recognize our volunteers who continued to contribute countless hours of their time and energy into making the City of Agoura Hills a better community through these trying times. I would like to start by thanking all the volunteers of 2021. Whether you served on a committee, volunteered at an event, or worked in the library to help get books out to people, your involvement was truly impressive and valued. Each volunteer offers their own unique skills in a variety of groups and committees. Tonight, we will honor some extraordinary people for going above and beyond their call for civic duty. We are thrilled to offer gifts to all of you tonight. This year, each volunteer will receive an umbrella with the newly adopted 40th anniversary logo on it. You'll be able to pick them up at the Agoura Hills Recreation and Event Center beginning on Monday, February 21st. Please know that myself and the entire City Council, as well as City staff, could not be more grateful for your efforts. We have, for your enjoyment, a presentation highlighting all of the groups and participants that volunteered in some way in 2021. It's people like you that make the City of Agoura Hills a great place to live. Again, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you.
Hi, this is Jeremy, and I love volunteering because I feel like it actually makes a difference in our community and keeps Agoura such a beautiful and wonderful place to be.
Hi, my name is Randy Paller, and I've been volunteering for the City of Agoura Hills for over 30 years. The reason why I volunteer is that I love to give back, and I love to be part of this awesome community. I've had the great privilege to be the chair of Reyes Adobe Days for the last 18 years. It's a great way to meet so many of my wonderful neighbors and to share my excitement and love of the city with them. I appreciate the support and opportunity that the city has given me. I want to thank City Council members, city staff, and most important, the community service staff. It's an awesome group of people to work with. I am committed to bringing spirit and love to our community, and I'm looking forward to Reyes Adobe Days 2022.
All right, I heard it that time. I hope everyone could hear and see the wonderful, long list of volunteers that we've had in the city of Agoura Hills, even through COVID, which is so telling. And just to let everyone know, I just met with about 20 volunteers on Zoom right before this meeting. We had a little meet and greet on Zoom just so we could offer some personal thanks to those who wanted to pop in. And, really hoping that we can do this in person again next year because it's such a lovely way to recognize our volunteers. So thank you to staff for making that presentation. And by the way, when we picked the umbrellas, it was pouring rain. So here's a little rain dance that maybe we'll get a little more rain again. So thank you so much, volunteers. Okay, with that, we move to intergovernmental and special purpose committee and departmental reports, and it's time, I know you've all been waiting, for 2 more of the 40 facts for 40 years. So I think Ramiro has a few slides he's going to put up. All right, the first fun fact, which I'm sure we all know, but really I'm surprised at how many people in the area don't know, but there is a 14-foot statue of someone called Chief White Eagle right on the south side of Agoura Road in between Chesebro and Canaan. He has been there for over 80 years. I used to, when we lived in the San Fernando Valley and we would drive up to Santa Barbara, that Chief White Eagle would be on the little hilltop. It was all you could see, and now he's actually a little bit hard to find because of all the building that's come in around it over the past 80 years. But the interesting thing about this statue is that it was dedicated by an artist to the Chumash, but as you can see, the depiction of Chief White Eagle is not particularly an accurate portrayal of our local Chumash tribes. I think the artist who was trying to pay homage was, the spirit was right, but I think the research was a little bit off, as you could see. So it is meant to be really an honor bestowed upon our local tribes, although the look of it is, I believe, more East Coast tribal. So anyway, look for Chief White Eagle. Go on Agoura Road, and I think right about, is it Lewis? If you turn on Lewis, maybe you can see him off up on a hill. So that's the one fact, and you can let me know on social media tomorrow if you've seen Chief White Eagle. And fact number 2 is about John Ballard. And because February is Black History Month, I thought it was really important to bring awareness to John Ballard, who was the first known African American landowner in our area. He came out west. He was a former slave, and he was the first African American to own property. And his ancestors are actually still in the area. The interesting thing about John Ballard is, you can imagine, he faced incredible racism. His house was burned down a few times, and he persevered. Interestingly, a mountain was named after him, and it was named after him with a slur. So the mountain was named with a very ugly title that is often attributed to the African American population, and you can even see that on some older maps. And thankfully, in 2010, the peak was renamed Ballard Mountain. In 2018, his descendants came to the area and honored his legacy, and now Ballard Mountain is here on our maps to stay. So thought everyone would be interested in this for Black History Month. If you got my newsletter, you got a little heads up on this. And I love that we take this and we put it on social media right after these meetings, and the community really seems to love it as they learn more about our city. So thank you very much for Mr. Deva for those slides. And we will move on our agenda. Next on our agenda, we will be bringing in Marisol Espinosa from Southern California Gas to discuss some of the issues that have been going on in our area, on our gas bills, et cetera. So I'll turn it over to you, Ms. Espinosa.
Great, wonderful. I'm going to share my screen, so let me know once you can see it.
Got it.
Can you see my screen? Okay, great. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, city staff, and congrats to Agoura Hills on 40 years as a city. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. We're going to primarily focus on winter bills because I understand and know that you've been getting quite a few calls about this. For those who might not know me, my name is Marisol Espinoza, and I'm a public affairs manager at SoCalGas. I've been there for a few years now, but for anyone who might not also know my background, prior to my work at SoCalGas, I worked for over 10 years for city and state elected officials in the San Fernando Valley. So I definitely know and understand constituent service and that it's key and incredibly important to get stakeholders timely and accurate information about issues that affect them. And like I said, we know that you've been getting calls about increases in their winter gas bills, and your constituents are our customers, and it's really important that we share information. So I can empathize that it was quite surprising, especially when you're used to your gas bill being one of the lowest ones that you see each month. I'm a caregiver to my parents who are both seniors, and know that the strain of higher bills can cause. Obviously, we're in a global pandemic, and the cost of everything has been going up, and it's been hard for individuals and families for the last couple of years. And so seeing another high bill can be extremely difficult for families. I want to just start by giving a little bit of background about SoCalGas. For over 150 years, we have been proud to provide clean, affordable, and reliable energy to our customers in the city of Agoura Hills and throughout our service territory. We operate and maintain the largest natural gas distribution system in the country, which includes more than 100,000 miles of pipeline, spanning a territory of 20,000 square miles and serving 22 million customers from Fresno down to San Diego. We are an entity that is regulated by the California Public Utilities Commission, the CPUC, and every 3 years we file a request with the CPUC called the General Rate Case, and that there are proceedings that take place, which include public hearings and testimony from SoCalGas, but ratepayer advocates and various environmental groups, among others. There are quite a few factors that might be contributing to the higher bills. I'm here to tell you a little bit about what some of those are and to provide some information on how you might be able to save on your bill. I'll be going into each one in a little more detail, but these are the basic factors that could be contributing. Natural gas prices have increased. There was a transportation rate change that was approved in 2019. Weather, increase in appliance usage, number of days within a billing cycle, and small factor that could play out was past due amounts. So winter natural gas market prices are regionally and nationally have been higher and more variable. They have increased significantly since December. They're nearly double what they were a year ago. This is honestly one of the primary drivers right now. We've seen the price of so many things go up, from groceries to cars, construction materials across the globe. And a lot of it's driven by demand. We don't produce gas. We are a delivery system. And so whenever there's colder weather in the east, the need for gas is higher, and there's a higher price for it. So I think right now we're competing with the East Coast to purchase gas, and the prior price is really based on demand. There is no markup to the customer. We don't make a profit from higher natural gas prices. And just a few details, if just to give you a sense of the increase. Last December 2021, the price of natural gas per therm was 36.15 cents. And this past December, it was 65.129 cents per therm. In January, it went up to 83.5 cents per therm. What we do see is that for February, as of February 1st, it has gone back down to 60.65 cents per therm. So hopefully that's a good trend. We'll definitely keep you posted and be updating information as we get further information. The other thing is there was a transportation rate change approved in 2019 that became effective on January 1st. This is an average residential rate increase of about 6%, and for small businesses, an average increase of about 14%. And these are rate changes that are going to allow us to modernize and upgrade our natural gas pipelines. Some of the things that we're doing across our territory, but we've seen it in Agoura Hills as well, a couple of distribution mainline replacements. We're continuing to invest in capital projects, maintaining pipeline integrity, testing, and upgrading sections of our pipeline. And this helps us retain responsible, well-trained employees and support the growth of diverse energy options. During winter, we do see that customers can use 3 to 7 times more natural gas, which can lead to higher monthly bills. Cold water also makes water heaters work longer and harder than in the summer. And this is because the water coming into the water heater is colder during winter. Space heating, as you might imagine, is often the #1 component of energy expense for most residential customers during the winter, and that's usually more than half of the total natural gas bill. So it has been colder, which is contributing to increased usage. A couple of other factors that might play a smaller role, but could be customers could be seeing an impact is during the holidays. We see that sometimes the billing cycle can be a few days longer, and that's typically there's 29 to 32 days in a cycle, depending on the number of days in a month and a holiday. Holidays can add up to 4 days to customers' billing cycles. So that could also contribute. And then this one is just, someone mentioned that they had noticed that their past due amount was still on their bill, and so it was showing higher. So just, you always want to double check that there's no pending past due amount on the bill that makes it look like it's even higher. These are some ways to save on your bill. I'll talk about a couple of them. I'll definitely make this presentation available to the city if you want to share it on the website. And this is also on our website as well. But here are just some things that you can do is set your thermostat at 68 degrees during the day, 55 at night if your health permits it. If you lower your thermostat 3 to 5 degrees, you can save up to 10% on heating costs. Make sure you test your air ducts for leaks, check for any hot water, any, fixie leaks, leaky faucets and pipes that could be causing extra demand on your water heater. We do also offer various programs for customers that need financial assistance or help paying their natural gas bills. We offer a wide range of services. For example, we have our CARE program where eligible participants can save 20% on their natural gas bill. And we also have an energy savings assistance program where eligible residents can qualify for no-cost home improvements. And we have a medical baseline allowance, which provides additional natural gas at the baseline rate for SoCalGas customers with certain medical conditions to help keep the house warm. We do also offer, if anybody has trouble paying a bill, we'll work out payment plans and make arrangements if you call our 800 number. And we have various other programs. We've partnered with the United Way of Greater LA to provide customers who are having trouble paying their bill with a grant to, for the amount of their gas bill. And we also have an arrearage management plan where eligible customers can apply to have their past due balance forgiven. I know one of the questions that we received was in regards to outreach and how we notified customers. Definitely, we do our best to communicate about winter bills through various channels. Some of these included bill inserts, postcards, emails, to residential and small business customers. We began communicating about winter bills via social media, press releases. But we're definitely, I know that, not everybody always will hear the message. So we're open to ideas and suggestions as to how to improve communication. You know your city best. And so always appreciate feedback on how to best communicate with residents and businesses in Agoura Hills. And, whether it be working with staff to share information on the website or posting on social media, or how we can get this to you, I know that sooner rather than later is definitely what we aim for. I also have a Twitter account that I try to post updates on, or following the SoCalGas Twitter account on social media as well. So these are just some ideas, but again, open to partnering or open to having further discussion on how we can better communicate with our customers and your constituents. And just wanted to also let you know and let customers know if there are any questions or if someone needs assistance, going over their bill. Our customer contact center is always available 24/7, 800-427-2200. This is the website, socalgas.com/cold, and that'll direct you to all of our various programs, as well as some of the information that I've shared today. So I am happy to answer questions and just appreciate the opportunity to update you and to see you all. Hopefully soon we'll be able to connect in person again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, not only for the presentation, but for being available when I know I got a lot of messages, phone calls, emails when the bills were so far out of the normal range. Does any council member have any questions for Ms. Espinosa?
No, but thank you, Marisol, for coming today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mayor Lopez,
Go ahead.
Councilmember Weber, if I could just can we make a comment or two?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. Well, I appreciate Marisol, you being here. I know you've been coming to us in the past as well. And I just want to say that my dealings with Southern California Gas has always been extremely well received. The relationships, I think, are excellent. And I appreciate you being here and talking to us tonight. I have not, honestly, I was surprised when I got my gas bills, but then my wife and I were discussing it, and we realized that I've been working from home almost 2 years now, and during the cold spells that we use it more. When I would go to work, you wouldn't worry about 68 degrees. Maybe it was 60. So I know that I'm guilty of this. And so I understand the need for the increase. And I personally have not gotten any calls from the residents regarding the bills, but I know, having listened to some of the other folks, that I'm sure that it's been an issue for some of them. But I guess I would say again, thank you. And I guess with the way I feel about taxes is that I guess I'm more worried about the gas put in my car, that the state keeps raising the taxes all the time. So just an editorial comment, but I do appreciate you coming, and I know that you've always been available for the council to discuss things. And I appreciate your time.
I do have a couple of additional questions from when we spoke last. And again, thank you for being available to me when I was getting on the messages. We talked about outreach to our residents. How much advance notice do you have when the rates are skyrocketing like they did? Because I know a bit more on the electric side, we know what's coming, we see it coming, and we are able to give people a chance to change their behavior if they want to and adapt to the higher prices. I mean, I've lived in Agoura Hills for 25 years almost, and we've had cold winters and we've had longer billing cycles. So this was really new. I think that was the shock. So why was it different than winters past in terms of that, and how much lead time did you have that next time maybe we can give people heads up if they want to alter their behavior at all, their usage?
Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly how much lead time. It's something I could look into for you, but I do know. So we did a press release on winter bills back in, it was at the very end of October. And so I think that, at that time, we always anticipate that bills are going to be higher because of higher usage. And I think natural gas prices were slightly increasing, but I'm going to have to get back to you on, specifically how much notice we have, when it comes to the market. I know there's a group called that Gas Acquisition that deals specifically with, acquiring the gas that we provide. So I'll get back to you because I want to make sure I get you correct information.
Okay, thank you. And then my last question is, so right after the people got these bills that were sometimes 2 or 3 times higher than they were used to, there's been some pretty negative articles in the newspaper about some penalties that were placed on Southern California gas because of some violations using ratepayer money to advocate for or against some changes in our climate plans. So I got questions from residents saying, is this why our rates are higher? Because SoCalGas is using our money to pay penalties or to use it for advocacy. Can you speak to that at all?
Yeah, so that wouldn't be any penalties that would be incurred, and we're still reviewing that decision. And we look forward to working with the CPUC on that, but that would not come out of ratepayer dollars. So I did check on that, and that's not something that is coming out of ratepayer dollars. So again, more information is I think coming, but as of right now, we're still reviewing that decision. So.
Okay, and the increase has nothing to do with using some of those funds for SoCalGas's advocacy in the gas market. That's what the question was about, not about the future penalties, but okay.
Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, the 6% and that's the transportation rate, and that is the cost of delivery of natural gas. And so that includes, like I said, pipeline upgrades and, various different projects related to the upgrade of our infrastructure.
Okay, thank you. If there are no other questions, then we can say goodbye. And once again, thank you for stopping by and helping us understand so that we can explain to our residents when they reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So still in the Intergovernmental Special Purpose Committee and departmental reports, does any council member have any reports? Okay. I do have one quick update, one quick report from Clean Power Alliance. As you know, and hopefully our residents know, when you're on Clean Power Alliance, which most of our residents are at this point, you have 2 bills on your Southern California Edison bill. You've got the procurement, which is the cost of, procuring and generating the energy, and then you've got the delivery, and that is the infrastructure side of it. So most of us rely on Clean Power Alliance, to procure the energy at various green rates. We all rely on Southern California Edison to deliver the rates, and we are billed for both of those through Southern California Edison. So due to some calendar syncing issues between SCE and the billing manager of all types of consumer Clean Power Alliance and the similar agencies throughout the state, CCAs, there was a disconnect, and a lot of people in Agoura Hills, it was, I believe, 66% of the people who are on Clean Power Alliance did not get billed for their Clean Power Alliance portion on their December bill for December, and then they got billed for December and January in January. So that means that your December bill would have been lower than it should have been, and your January bill was higher because it included that December bill. And again, I'm told that Agoura Hills was actually the area that was one of the most affected by that. Again, this was something that occurred across the state with all CCAs, including Clean Power Alliance. Edison is working on making sure it doesn't happen again. And again, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that nobody was billed twice, but that the December portion of the procurement ended up on the January bill for 2/3 of us. So if anyone is having a problem paying that bill because it's higher than expected, because it wasn't spread out like normal, you can call SCE and they'll work with you, and there's no penalties charged. So just wanted to make sure everyone knew that in case you hear about that from our residents at all. I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any.
Madam Mayor, I have a question, not about Clean Power Alliance, but I was just wondering, we haven't had a report on the COG in a while, and I would like to get one at the next meeting if possible. Thank you.
Noted. We will work with our COG representatives, and we'll have that on the next agenda. I see Mayor Pro Tem Anstead nodding. He's writing something down. Thank you. All right. With that, we will move to public comments for items not listed on the agenda. This section is reserved for items not listed on the agenda that are under the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. Written public comments were requested to be emailed in advance of tonight's meeting. If you wish to speak, please click the raise hand button on the Zoom toolbar now. Public testimony is limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and a speaker's time may not be transferred to another speaker. And now I'll defer to City Clerk Rodriguez to see if we have any public comments.
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. The city did not receive any written public comments, and there are no hands raised at this time.
Okay, thank you. Then we will move on to the consent calendar. This section is reserved for items on the consent calendar. Written public comments were requested to be emailed in advance of tonight's meeting. If you wish to speak, please click the raise hand button on the Zoom toolbar now. Public testimony is limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and a speaker's time may not be transferred to another speaker. Once again, I will defer to City Clerk Rodriguez to see if we have any public comments for our consent calendar.
Thank you, Mayor Lopez. The city did not receive any written public comments, and there are no hands raised for live testimony.
Great, thank you. And now I will call on each council member to see if they have any questions or comments about the consent calendar or wish to pull anything to discuss separately. Councilmember Buckley Weber.
I have no questions and no comments. Thank you.
Okay, Councilmember Northrup.
No questions or comments.
Thank you, Councilmember Weber.
No questions nor comments.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem Anstead.
No questions or comments.
Thank you. I also do not have any questions or comments about the items on the consent calendar. So now I will ask for a motion, and will the maker of the motion to adopt the consent calendar, along with the second, please state your names.
Councilmember Weber moves approval of the consent calendar.
Councilmember Buckley Weber seconds the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to adopt and approve the following 4 consent calendar items. Number 1, approve demand warrant register number 865. Number 2, authorize purchase of very small aperture terminal, or VSAT, equipment from McKay Communication Inc., SMMC, Emergency Operations, Wildfire Resiliency Grant. Number 3, request for appropriation of funds for Sumac Park restroom rehabilitation project, NIB 21-02. And number 4, approve and make AB 361 findings for Special Brown Act requirements for teleconference meetings. And I will now call on each council member for their vote on the consent calendar. Councilmember Buckley Weber.
Aye.
Councilmember Northrup.
Aye.
Councilmember Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Anstead.
Aye.
I also vote in favor, and the motion passes 5-0. So thank you very much. So now we will move to staff comments. Does anyone on our staff have any comments for the council or the public?
Mayor, if I could just remind the public that we have our vaccine clinic coming up tomorrow, the 10th, from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And if you can visit our website if you need information on where to sign up, but that'll be at our Recreation and Event Center.
Wonderful, thank you. Not seeing any other staff members pop on, I will now call on each council member to see if they have any comments. Councilmember Buckley Weber?
My only comment is to also join in thanking all of our volunteers in the city. I don't know how many are still on this program, but if anybody's listening, thank you for all the work that you do. It's more important than ever. And the wonderful thing about volunteering is it brings us together as a community rather than split us apart. You volunteer for what you want to do, and it's not political, and it's not people taking sides on one thing or another. It's just working together to make our community a better place to live. So thank you for all that you do, and hopefully next year, I know we said this last year, but hopefully next year we'll all be together again.
Thank you. Councilmember Northrup?
I think I'm just going to say ditto to that, and looking forward to better times ahead as the numbers seem to be moving in the right direction.
Thank you. Councilmember Weber?
I will join my two colleagues in their comments. When you think about the sheer number of volunteers, I think the last time I took a count, there was in excess of 250 men, women, and children all pitch in to do so many wonderful things for our city. So I appreciate them, and God bless them. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mayor Pro Tem Anstead?
Yes, I also want to just personally thank all the volunteers again for all their hard work this year, and past years. Many people have been doing the volunteer activities for many years in a row, and I especially just want to put a shout out to the Gore Village subcommittee that I was privileged to participate in. I know every member on that subcommittee spent many hours kind of reviewing policies and reviewing documents in addition to the meetings. And I want to just thank them personally for all their time that they put into that subcommittee meeting. So thank you again for everybody's volunteering.
Thank you. And of course, I echo all of the comments about our volunteers. I will wrap up my comments by saying, go Rams.
Go Rams.
I think the residents are really learning that I don't know if they knew, I certainly didn't know for a little bit of time that the Rams are headquartered in the city of Agoura Hills. It's something I love to tease our Acorn reporter Kyle Jory about because they practice in Thousand Oaks, but where are they headquartered? Agoura Hills. So they're the Agoura Hills Rams in our eyes. And we wish them the best of luck this Sunday. So go Rams. All right. With that, the next regular city council meeting is scheduled for 6 p.m. Wednesday, February 3rd, 2022. It is anticipated that all meetings will be held by video conference and in-person attendance by the public in the council chambers will not be permitted. So we'll take a motion to adjourn, and will the maker of the motion and the second please state your name?
Councilmember Buckley Weber moves to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Councilmember Weber, seconds.
Okay, hopefully our city clerk got that. I got a little overlap there. And I will now call on each council member for their vote. Councilmember Buckley Weber.
Aye.
Councilmember Northrup.
Aye.
Councilmember Weber.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ansted.
Go Rams. Yeah, aye.
And I also vote aye, and the motion passes 5-0, and the meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.